0773.
Evening, everybody. Hope everybody had a good New Year. I'd like to call the Common Council meeting for January 7th to order. Has been appropriately noticed.
Yes, Your Honor, it has.
Stand for the pledge, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Alderman Stray?
I'm here.
Kavieski?
Here.
Alderman Rogers? Alderman Rozak?
Here.
Alderman Shaw?
Here.
Alderman Ellis?
Here.
Alderman Spiegelberg?
Here.
Alderman Swart?
First item is approval of minutes from the November 19th meeting. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second. Any questions, comments? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes passed. Comments and suggestions from citizens. If anybody has anything they'd like to say on any subject? Seeing none, we'll move on to the consent agenda. We need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
And tonight we have licenses, resolution adding and combining wards for the elections and a water utility easement. Questions? Go ahead.
I probably asked this before, the combining wards, why do we do this? Why do we have to do this every cycle? Is there a reason?
There is. It's more of a housekeeping for the county, but in this instance, we had the Southwood subdivision attached at December 31st. And when they were in the village of Summit, they are in District 2 for county supervisor. We are not the city, so therefore I need to make sure that they have a ward number so we can have a special ballot for them so they can continue to vote for their county supervisor.
I see, so they're
Until the redistricting takes place.
right, so they're Ward 16?
Correct, they are Ward 16.
And who are they voting for?
Dave Zimmerman would be their county supervisor.
Oh, really? Okay, because that's normally,
He's Village of Summit's
Okay.
supervisor,
Right.
so.
just for supervisor.
Just for supervisor, correct,
And then for city officials, they vote city now.
they do.
Okay, gotcha, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Seeing none, we have a motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
Alderman Stray?
Aye.
Alderman Kavieski?
Aye.
Alderman Rozak?
Aye.
Alderman Shaw?
Aye.
Alderman Ellis?
Aye.
Alderman Spiegelberg?
Aye.
Okay, under new business, we have a item, consider act on addressing waiver for Southwood subdivision. The chief, you're gonna speak about that?
Chapter 8 of the municipal code requires house numbering in the city using the baseline to establish a grid system. The ordinance also allows the chief of police to waive the grid system if he believes it won't affect public safety. After reviewing the Southwood subdivision, I believe a waiver would be appropriate, and I'm making that recommendation today.
You have any questions on that? We will need a motion to,
I'll move to waive the,
address
I'll
the
move-
waiver.
I'll move to waive this addressing for Southwood subdivision as noted in the agenda.
I'll second.
Any questions? I think this makes sense for this one area. It's one street, and again, we can take this up at other dates if we annex some other area in.
Perfect.
Seeing no other questions, we have a motion and a second. Call the roll.
Alderman
Aye.
Stray? Alderman Kavieski?
Aye.
Alderman Rozak?
Aye.
Alderman Shaw?
Aye.
Alderman Ellis?
Aye.
Alderman Spiegelberg?
Aye.
Okay, next item, consider act on a local primary election for February 18th, 2020. I'll turn this over to Diane.
Thank you, Mayor. I have placed a revised memo at your stations.
I should have it.
Everybody, right. And basically, I'm updating you with the candidates who have filed as of 5 PM today. So for the office of mayor, we have Kevin Ellis, Luke Kavieski, and Robert Magnus. District 1, we have Matt Mulder. District 2, Charles Shellpepper and Scott Antono. District 3, Matt Rozak. District 4, John Zaffel. What the city council has to decide tonight is, because there are more than 2 candidates for mayor, does the city want to have a primary election on February 18th, or just let the candidates go on to the spring ballot on April 7th, and then the candidate with the highest number of votes would be the winner. I did research city records, and I could find no, in the records that were available to me, I could find no other instance when there was more than 2 candidates for mayor. However, we have had more than 2 candidates for alderman, and historically, when we had 3, we did not hold a primary. So that, I'm just giving you a little history on, for alderman, but I have no other history with more than 2 candidates for mayor. And so you have to determine whether you want to hold the primary on February 18th or not, and that would be, you'd have to decide the motion.
Lou, you had your hand up first?
Are there any other ballots that'll be on the February option for
For other
voting?
offices.
Or are we
County,
gonna
state?
just have one?
There will be a primary for the Justice of the Supreme Court. There are 3 candidates there. So that is the only other office that would be on the ballot if you choose to put the mayoral office on it.
But we'll have an election on
February
February
18th.
18th regardless. So
Regardless.
Correct.
there really won't be an additional cost associated with a primary for the mayoral position.
Correct.
Okay.
Matt, you had your hand up?
Yeah, that was my point. I think the Supreme Court's gonna have a primary, so we have to have an election anyway.
Yeah.
My preference would be to, I think the public, in my opinion, is if you can get somebody that gets all the, the majority of the votes versus a plurality is probably better
Yes.
in this
I
kind of
agree.
situation.
It's hard to be a citywide elected official when you could have 60% of the city that didn't vote for you.
Yeah, I mean, the first time I was elected was by plurality, like 43 or 44%, but I'm one of 8.
Yeah.
The citywide official, the mayor,
Citywide
should
official should be the,
have a
think so.
majority
I agree.
support, not just 35 or 42% or something.
go ahead.
Sorry, I want to make a correction. Because we have a local office, or if we do have a local office on the February ballot, we will have to share a portion of that cost that normally we wouldn't. Then that would be just for the race we put on that. So it could be $400. It depends how many ballots are ordered. It won't be a significant amount, but it would be a cost.
But it's still something that should be done, I think,
Yeah.
so. Karen?
I was going to say, are there other communities our size or in the area that you're aware of that have done like all 3 as mayoral? We don't have that history here, but any other communities that have done that?
I'm sure there are some. We have a provision in our ordinance that we do this. A lot of other communities do not. So I don't really watch the other races, so to speak.
Like you said too, going
That's
back
more
in
of a
history,
common
so
thing
we're
to
going,
do.
we're going
Right.
back 50, 60 years. There's never been more than 2 candidates
Yeah, no,
for mayor, so it's,
I
this
agree
is
with-
something new, and I
yeah.
think it should be done right.
In my 40 years of doing this with 50 municipalities, I've probably seen 20, primaries for
With-
local
with
election.
more than 2
Yeah.
people?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only
Okay.
time you would have it.
Yep. Charlie?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Matt that we should go ahead and hold a primary as long as we're going to have a primary anyhow. And that way, when the election in April comes along, the winner of the mayor race will have the,
Majority.
majority. And I think that's important.
I agree.
So we'll need a motion to act on this?
Make a motion to hold the local primary for the election of for the office of mayor on February 18th, 2020.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions, comments? Seeing none, call the roll, please.
Alderman Stray.
Leave it up to a bunch of judges, huh? Aye.
Alderman Kavieski.
Aye.
Alderman Rozak.
Aye.
Alderman Shaw.
Aye.
Alderman Ellis.
Aye.
Alderman Spiegelberg.
Aye.
Okay, staff reports.
Nothing this evening.
Reports and comments from the alderman? Nothing this evening?
Who wants to talk?
Real quick, with the update with the number of people who have put their hat in the ring for elected positions, it's nice to see that there is a lot of engagement. So it's going to be a good race, and the city will win. So congratulations to the city for having people step up.
Reports and comments from the mayor. I'd like to do the same thing that Lou said. I think it's great that we have participation. A couple are unopposed. Congratulations, Matt. John. But I think it's good to have participation, especially for the citywide race, and I think that's going to be important. So that's all I have. Moving on, we go into closed session per Wisconsin Stats 19.85 per N1 per NE. Deliberating or negotiating the purchase of public properties, investing in public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session. This is regarding the Village of Summit boundary agreement. We need a motion to go into closed session.
So moved.
Have a second?
I'll second.
Call the roll, please.
Alderman Stray.
Aye.
Alderman Kavieski.
Aye.
Alderman Rozak.
Aye.
Alderman Shaw.
Aye.
Alderman Ellis.
Aye.
Alderman Spiegelberg.
Aye.
Okay, we're in closed session.